It's Tuesday, and I'm gonna start my day with yakking at y'all for a few minutes, and then I have work to do. It is Tuesday, the 7th of December, and I'm not really feeling much Christmas. It's such a commercial endeavor that I don't feel much from it. Okay, I'm moving this. Yep, there we go. Okay, so I really enjoy the hearing from folks regarding it's just good that this is a real connection. Okay, this is a real human connection going on here, and I don't mind talking about real subjects regarding our lives, because there is so little of it that I see going on in the media stream, which we're all plugged into through social media, TV, whatever, computers. Okay, I see very little helpful, humane content being shared. Very little. So I don't mind telling you what's going on here. I'd like to say something regarding people's input with me. It didn't happen just once yesterday, but a couple times, and then it does happen on a fairly regular basis that I will get messages from people I don't know who will offer. They say, well, you can call, you can talk to me, That's a nice sentiment, but I'm going to tell you my experience with it, okay? My experience, no one else's, okay? Part of my, what I recognized even before I was grown, part of my role as a person is I am a people person. My presence alone has some kind of healing. At the very least, I can say something, power or presence. I've had some very extraordinary experiences with it. So what I'm trying to say is my experience of when people say, well, you can talk to me if you need to talk to somebody. Well, I'll tell you what's happened. I stopped a long time ago, because what happens is people say you can talk to me, but what happens is they want to talk to me. They want me to listen to them. Okay. Now, this is not a diss. This is a very real thing that happens all the time. I watch people do it. People don't listen. It's a skill. Communication is a skill. And a lot of times people aren't listening. They're just waiting to respond. Okay? All right? And so when I've taken folks up in the past outside of my family to try to give me counsel when I needed it, it always backfired. I always end up counseling them and comforting them every fucking time, okay? So that's why the people who messaged me yesterday, please don't take this personal. I'm trying to tell you my experience. This is why I ain't going to call you or anyone. The only person that I'll call from experience that I find helpful when I'm in need emotionally is my big sister, okay? Stephanie. She has the same kind of presence in a way that I do. And so it's not so much that she knows what to say, although a lot of times she does. It'll just be the way that she is with me when I need her. Okay? I wanted to share that. I appreciate that you folks express care about me. Thank you very much. I care about you too. And in a real conversation, face to face, we could have a good time. I could enjoy a conversation. But I'm a good listener, and I do know this. It's a skill that I've worked on through my work over the years. And I know how to listen actively, attentively, and how to discipline myself to pay attention while the person is needing my attention and to give not only feedback, but to respond to what they're saying to me about whatever. I don't get that from anyone. No one. It's a skill. And I'm not saying I'm something special. I'm just saying that it's a skill that most people don't even know about. So, I wanted to share that, but the bottom line is I'm trying to tell you my experience, but that I appreciate this connection very much. Thank you, folks, that you feel the realness of this exchange. Thank you. What's going on today is that I'm going to try and knock out, I can, okay? I set myself high goals sometimes unnecessarily. So what I'm talking about is, this is music related. Okay, so let me put it in context for me. So I just talked about Soft Machine, the Canterbury English group who, like the Beatles, in many ways changed my perception of music and a lot of things. Very important band to me. Very important. The whole school of this music that we call Canterbury. Very important to me. So on the American side, the American contingent of this continuum of music, a long time ago I discovered the band from the East Coast, the Muffins. And when I discovered this, it was a wonderful discovery because it was, okay, I have found one of the American connections to that Canterbury sound. These guys don't sound like Soft Machine, but they're in that wheelhouse. I love their music. I only have 2 of their albums on vinyl. I have more CDs. I don't have everything by the band, okay? What I'm trying to explain is Muffins, and this is the name of their first album, very collectible, Manna Mirage. Some of my favorite music. It's a bucket list thing that I am now part of this legacy. Have been for a couple of years now. So the Muffins, their Manna Mirage album, the main cat behind the band, Dave Newhouse, keyboards and woodwinds, continues to make music under the banner of Manna Mirage, after the title of the first album. And I'm so pleased that I'm part of the history now. I play bass on one track on this Manna Mirage album, Rest of the World. I was so chuffed when Dave got a hold of me and asked me to participate. And then when he asked me to play on the next album, it's like, wow. So this just came out this year, limited edition, 300 copies, sold out already, man out of time. Manna Mirage. You know, I've been talking about Carla Dereck. She's on here too. So David has sent me the track that he wants me to put bass on for the next Manna Mirage record, for whenever that's going to come out. And that's my goal today, is to finish the bass track for him today. That's what's on my plate for the day. Let me drink some coffee. Isn't it something that I'll show records from countries and then I'll hear from people from those countries who'll say, never heard of those bands. You know, again, that informs my opinion and my attitude about things a lot, which is the finest stuff on this planet, the finest music, art, literature, is we're not directed towards it by the powers that be, by the social, how do I mean it? The social structure of the world is one where it's all about just allowing some individuals to profit, as opposed to doing things that promote humanity and the human growth and our just what we're about, you know. I'm not religious. I've been through a lot of religions and learned a lot. But the notion that there is a God person just makes no sense to me at all. Makes no sense to me at all. Now, where I was going with that has kind of eluded me. It was somewhat related, but these are some thoughts that just are in my head. Man, I want to follow up with that thought. That's something I've been thinking a lot about. Oh yeah, I like science, and so maybe seems like it's a bit of a tangent, but I'm gonna go with it because it's on my mind. I wanted to share it, the thought. So I just can't. I've studied a lot of religion. I have, and so I just can't get with it. I can't get with this idea of a savior complex thinking. That there's one individual person out of all the billions of people who have been born and died on this planet. There's one person who's going to come and fix everything. That's madness. It's madness. When people talk about God, you have to have a personal God. It don't make no sense. Where is it? Where is this God at? And why do y'all keep calling him he? How do you know he's got a dick? Why do you say that? If I was going to embody a God, it'd be female. But I don't, because it don't make sense. Neither makes sense to me. I'm going to just go with this. So, in looking at science and keeping up with what's going on with Hubble and that new telescope and all that stuff, and Voyager and stuff, we're wrestling with trying to understand what dark matter and dark energy are. Now, if anything, that to me is the closest thing that I would call God, is dark matter and dark energy. This stuff that we don't know what it is, and yet it seems to be the thing that holds the filaments of the universes together. Science says they can see that now. So in my mind, that makes way more sense that that's probably what we think God is, the origins of everything, where it all comes out of. I don't see no body there. I don't see nobody with no dick or no titties or nothing that, what is it? It doesn't even make sense that God needs to be worshipped. That sounds like some man shit. That sounds like some egotistical, petty man shit. My God, if I could be a God, the last thing I would want is for you to worship me. That don't even make sense. It doesn't even sound wise. Okay. That don't even sound smart to me. So that's why I'm just really pretty, I don't even want to talk about religion with religious people, with their beliefs. We can believe anything. That's what I keep saying. You can't prove shit. That book that you keep talking about, the Bible, you don't even know the origins of it. You haven't really studied it. I have. That's proof of nothing. Okay, so that's my tangent for today. I hope you have a good day. So, I'll do one pull just for the hell of it, okay? And I'm going to pull from back here. Not over here, but over here, all right? What am I getting? What am I getting into? I don't know what I pulled. Let's hold it up. Oh, okay. I like my collection. I do. From the Netherlands, Mr. Super Sister Robert Jan Stips, UP, Up. Solo album. Musically, I love it. Very similar to the things he did in Super Sister. Also a bit of the Gruppo Sportivo. Up. Kind of funny. A lot of humor in this music. Great pianist. Good writer. And then I pulled two. The next album behind it was... And this is one I inherited just recently from my brother. Yeah, he's on my mind. What's New by Sonny Stitt. I did not own any Sonny Stitt records until I got this from my brother. And when I listened to it, I know why. My dad had this record or borrowed it, and so I heard it a lot. This is him when the baritone electric sax deal came out. My dad was fascinated with it and somehow was able to acquire one. I still have the demonstration disc from the package. He had to hock it pretty quick, unfortunately, to feed us, but I think that has something to do with my response to the sound of Sonny Stitt, because when I put this on not too long ago after inheriting it from my brother, it was a complete throwback. It was like going back in time, in good and challenging ways emotionally for me. But Stitt is one of those players who was a master player, and yet for some reason he is like a niche player. He's just as badass as Sonny Rollins, Sam Rivers, all those guys, but we don't hear. Well, I'm not a big jazz talker, but it seems like Sonny Stitt has not received his due. But this was also what came up in my pull. As always, folks, I appreciate hearing from you, and I do read your comments. Remember, I'm just sharing my thoughts with you. I'm not telling you how the hog ate the cabbage or which way is up. I'm just expressing my thoughts, my experience, my opinion. And by that, I encourage you to share yours, but don't be so foolish to think that you can come over here and tell me what's up and down, because you don't know any more than I do. And I always remember that. So I just, people who talk like they really know what's going on, it's like I'm just always, yeah, right, yeah, right, yeah, right. Yeah, right.